So this is going to be a fast conversation and a very fast subject because, as we all know, technology moves much quicker than any of us can stay on top of it. Just a little bit further introduction in myself, but I think John did a great job of it. ConStrata is a technology consulting company. We do work with a lot of companies in figuring out their IT strategy and roadmap, but actually more importantly, figuring out how not to waste a lot of money on following fads and instead focus on trends in technology. FS Tech. Next September in Washington, D.C., if you're interested in that or your teams are interested in that and they want to know about technology, that's the place to go, and I still chair it, and it's now part of CSP Business Media, the guys that do Restaurant Leadership Conference as well. But very exciting is the IFBTA, the ability to bring professionals, whether they're in marketing, IT, in operations, who are interested in technology, provide certification, and do things to advance their level so that we can move forward in the industry in bringing technology. I do want to say one last thing, because I love following somebody who's talking about Cisco. You know, at the end of the day, we can talk about whatever my background is, but I tell people all the time I am just a restaurant manager who happens to be in technology. And a number of years ago, I took over a restaurant chain in Washington, D.C. called That's Amore. And we Italian restaurants, and we had to go out and buy a lot of tomatoes. And I was on my way to go visit Cisco, and I was talking to somebody on the phone. I said, listen, I'm on my way to go see Cisco. I'm going to buy tomatoes. And it's a technology person I'm talking to, and I realized this, and I said, well, that's S-Y-S-C-O, not C-I-S-C-O. So had to explain that to him. But let's just talk technology for a few minutes. I want to make sure that in this room there's a lot of things going on, that we focus on those things that are trends and not fads, because we can waste a lot of money in technology in this industry by focusing on what we see on a seat back pocket or what we see on television at the moment. So let's take a look at some of the key tech trends. So I'd like to just start out with mobility and payments, one of the hottest things. Now, interestingly enough, mobility and payments has been hot for a long time. But then it takes Apple to make an announcement the last couple of months about it. Now everybody's interested in it. Now, of course, payments we're very focused on because of EMV and some of the security and data security and things that we need to do. It is an extremely confusing world in food service to figure out where to go on payments. Everybody wants to go to electronic payments. You start doing online ordering, you got to look at electronic payments. It is very confusing. And the answer is we have to accept it all. So we have to work with the providers to figure out how do we connect to mobile devices, how do we connect to the mobile wallets, and there is no single answer in this area, yet is one of the biggest areas that we need to be connected to and focused as a trend. If we take a look at location-based marketing, there's a whole association on this, by the way, that focuses on it, and 70 to 80% of their people are retailers, of which restaurants lead the way in location-based marketing. When we start talking about beam technologies, knowing who's where, when they're coming in, proximity, doing something at the drive-thru to know that somebody ordered is now there, we can take out the curbside, we can deliver, we can connect with guests when they come in the restaurant. By the way, big deal to offer Wi-Fi, free Wi-Fi connectivity. This should not even be a debate because you want the customer to come in, you want them to be connected, and when they're connected, you know their location, you know their preferences, and there's a lot of tools, by the way, to be able to use. This is a huge area of locating, knowing where the customers are, sorting preferences, and using other databases to do that. So location, location, location. Bring your own device. This is an emerging one. We know that everybody in this room has probably got 2 to 3 devices, and your employees, your management, and your customers have exactly the same thing. By the way, go backwards. I already said about bandwidth. You need to offer wireless within your restaurants and give the bandwidth for it because people hate it when things move slowly. But we are quickly moving to where our customers will use their own device when they're in a food service operation to do their orders, get their information. They're already doing it. And some of us are actually taking devices that they use and putting them at table side. You know, we're doing that. Okay, but our employees are carrying devices, and we're using different programs for labor, for scheduling, for the employees to connect them for training. Okay, I saw a slide presentation done at a convention, a franchise convention a couple weeks ago, and they were showing a 3D code, you know, a QR code up on the wall that they put by the slicer. Employee, if you're not sure how to use this, take your phone, do the QR code, get a training video on demand. Okay, Big deal. Bring your own device is coming. Now, of course, I'm sure somebody will come up with the brilliant idea of how are we going to go ahead and track how much time the employees are spending on it. We got to charge, for using that or something like that. But we are quickly moving this way in all areas of food service. Cloud computing and device autonomy. The two actually go very well together. Cloud computing, moving everything to the cloud, everything from point of sale to back office to digital signage to our dashboards, everything in the cloud. We are no longer afraid of it anymore. Okay, we used to be afraid of it. What if I move my point of sale off to the cloud and the system goes down? But because we have such great connectivity and we have backups today, this is not something to be worried about. But that enables the ability to do wearable technology, okay, to do the glasses, do the watches, and allow us to put applications that are developed anywhere without worrying about what type of device it's going to be on because we're focused on the browser and we're coming from the cloud. So my advice to you, anything you're looking at today, put it in the cloud and then worry about where it's going to be delivered. Now, I didn't say, by the way, we don't have to worry about where it's being delivered. We do, a little bit, because sometimes it's something that's optimized for a tablet or a phone may not work on something that you're wearing on your wrist. Okay, and we are going to see a lot more technology on the wrist. Okay, that is coming. Glasses, maybe, we'll see. Okay, big data. You know what? Old term. This is something we talked about probably last year or the year before. Everybody tells you got to worry about. It isn't about the big data. It isn't about all the data that's sitting out there in the cloud. It's how are we going to use this data that's there. So now you want to put your time and money into how do you use that data, how you gather it together into parcels, pieces, and dashboards that we can use in order to make meaningful decisions in our environment. Okay? We're past the big data thing. We got all the data. Now we got to figure out how to use it. So really, to put it all together, here's what I can tell you. There's a lot of opportunity out there today to put the different technologies together. It is being integrated, whether it's a wearable technology, whether it's a tablet, whether it's a PC, whatever it is, there's a lot of opportunity to do it. And I will tell you the other thing. You don't have to invent it yourself. There are plenty of great technologies out there in retail, hospitality, and globally that we can take and we can use in food service. The solutions exist. Custom development is out. And it is easier to deploy because of the cloud, so we can put it all together very easily. So I want to thank you for having me here today. Thank you, John. And if you're interested in either ConStrata, the IFBTA for anybody interested in technology in your organizations, or attending FS Tech, this is how to find us. So thank you very much.